My name is Justine Lette and I'm the trainer of the Clinical Hypnotherapy Diploma. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to run through the structure, how it works, and just answer a few common questions people ask when they ring out wanting information. So first, the diploma. It did used to be a diploma and an advanced. They used to be separate trainings. But what we have done, just to make better quality hypnotherapists, plus to get in line with different regulations that are happening overseas, we have changed our diploma into both the diploma and advanced together and made it an 1,000-hour training. This 1,000 hours includes the training done on Zoom together, and it also includes the weekly mentoring and workshops and other things that happen. So what I am going to do is just quickly give you a run through of the platforms, what they look like, and kind of what's expected. So probably one of the first questions I get asked is it self-paced? How do I know what to do? How long does it take? So basically the diploma is self-paced. So some people get through it quite quickly, whereas other people can take up to a year or 2 years to complete, just depending how much time they want to put into the modules and to actually getting out and practicing with people. So like I said, the diploma is what used to be diploma and advanced together. So it starts from very basic hypnosis, what it is, and it goes through to advanced level techniques. This, of course, happens over time. So we get together for a 5-day period at the start where we practice the basics. That's getting in and really understanding what hypnosis is, what hypnotherapy is, understanding inductions. In those 5 days, we do a lot of practice together. So there's a lot of hypnosis going on, a lot of practicing with the other students in breakout rooms via Zoom. That 5 days runs every 3 months. And I recommend that students attend it at least twice. I have students coming back that did it years ago because those weeks are a lot of fun. They're heaps of fun. We do a lot of hypnosis. But also every time, because hypnosis and hypnotherapy in the mind is so in depth, I've been doing this for a very long time and I still learn things every day. And I even learn things that just blow my mind and make me have to rethink the structure of how I kind of place everything again. Because of that, the diploma training is always changing and updating, and information's getting better all the time. So like I said, the 5-day training, you attend it as many times as you want. Each time you will pick up new things. So the first time you do it, it might be quite surface level things, basic things. But as you go on each time, you're going to start picking up, what's really happening underneath. So on top of the 5 days that we start with, the last Saturday of the month, we do workshops. And on these workshops, it's usually a Saturday morning, we go through different practices and techniques. So with a clinical diploma, the difference between a clinical diploma and other kind of modalities as such, like ways of using hypnotherapy or hypnosis, a clinical diploma doesn't just teach you an induction and a script and what to do. A clinical diploma our clinical diploma, this one that I teach, really gets underneath what's going on so that you understand it. You learn lots of different techniques and ways of working. The whole plan of this diploma is for my students to be able to work with what comes in the door without having to pre-plan sessions. The reason why I like to do that, and what I mean is if someone's coming for smoking, that you don't prepare a smoking script for them before they come. When someone rings up and books in a session, say 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to the session, the person that comes in is usually a very different person to the person you were talking to on the phone. So I like to teach students to be able to work with what comes in the door without preparation, to a place that you have tools, you have techniques, you have ways of working, that you work with what the client says and what the client does in the session. So the end goal would be that you're just working organically, working intuitively with what's there instead of preset scripts and preset things. I'm not anti-scripts, by the way. They're really good for recordings, they're good for learning, and they're good for doing groups. So yeah, so in the on the Saturday workshops, we dive into just deeper techniques and tools that you'll be putting into your practice. It might be positive regression, where we take people back to a positive event to bring forward good feelings and stuff into the future. We might go into using idiomotor responses, which is deeper hypnosis, taking people into deeper trances. So those happen on the Saturdays. Now, every Thursday morning for a year, you have mentoring with me from 9 till 10:30. Now, this mentoring is really important. This is where we get into business stuff. This is where we get into how to market your business. This is when you're starting to see clients and you might have someone coming in with something and you want a bit of support around it, or you might be struggling with a client and you want to run things past me just to get an idea of what to do, or even just talk through clients that you've had. It's really good even to come on those calls and just listen to other people's questions. In these calls, I also do talk about things. So say if there's nothing to talk about, we might go deep into sleep, we might go deep into menopause, we might go deep into weight loss. We will just go into whatever's needed on the day. Now, I am currently studying, well, I will be, in about 8 weeks, I might be finished doing a diploma in social media marketing. So for me, it's really important to upskill myself to help my students. And one of the things students do struggle with is business. And so we talk through how to set up a mailing list, how to bring clients in, how to work with social media, how to do all the things that you need to do as a business. And it is really important when you are thinking about studying clinical hypnotherapy. You all are also talking about becoming self-employed. So that is one of the, if it was only just hypnotizing people all the time, it'd be so easy, but the business side of it is really important too. So there is a lot of support there helping you get the business side of things together as well. As part of the diploma, there's other things included. So with the diploma, you get the Dave Elman Hypnosis Certification. Once you get into hypnotherapy, you'll understand how cool that is. Dave Elman is like the grandfather of hypnosis, and there are lots of cool recordings to listen to of Dave Elman. This is the time Dave Elman would teach doctors, and it was a time that they didn't have anesthesia and things like this. So there's a lot of gold inside what we learn in the Dave Elman things. And as I'll show you on the platform, so with the diploma, this is what the platform looks like. There's many, many, many modules. They call them lessons, but inside the modules is just lots of things to go through. So even if I was to go through just one page, say, let's go to interventions. So all of these things here are techniques and tools that you learn inside of the diploma, just different ways of working, different tools, different things. And so in this platform, there's thousands of hours of things that you can watch. Zoom training. So whenever I do a Zoom training, the training comes up on the platform. So you can watch many, 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 many hours of trainings to learn. And I do recommend that my students just have it playing in the background and in the ear when they're cleaning and things like that, because even though the diploma is the same, because the students are always different, the questions that are asked are different. So I might have a whole diploma full of really spiritual people, and then we spend the whole time talking about spiritual stuff. But then I might have a diploma group that is focusing on trauma. And so the questions put to me will always be trauma related. I might have people that are interested in sports hypnosis, and so suddenly people will ask me questions related to that. And the way we work with those different things are quite different. So the classes, even though the baseline information is the same, all of the classes are different, if that makes sense. And it's really interesting because when I run classes, the people tend to be quite similar that come on the classes. So as I said, the diploma is huge. and there are assignments to do. Now, with our diploma, people like to have a certificate to start working with basic issues. So once the 5 days is completed and you've worked through the first assignment, we actually issue a certificate in clinical hypnotherapy. And what this does is it gives you confidence to go out and work with basic things like sleep, basic weight loss, stress relief, things like that. So with that certificate in your hand, you'll feel more confident to go and work with things. From there, you chip away at the diploma. And as I said earlier, people ask me how long it takes. It basically takes as long as you take to complete it. We do have a 2-year cutoff, so we'd like people to finish within those 2 years, which is plenty of time. And becoming a good hypnotherapist is not so much about knowledge, it's about getting out and doing it. And that's why, for me, the mentoring is so important, because when you keep up with your peers and your students and you're there doing it, it's more likely, the repetition to happen, the practice to happen. So, and for practicing, you do get put in a Facebook Messenger chat where you can catch up with other people that are doing the training. In the chat, it will be this year's and last year, so there's lots of people for you to practice on as well. The whole diploma is done over Zoom, as there are people from Australia and New Zealand and elsewhere that come on these trainings. It makes it accessible for parents, for people that are working jobs, just because it's not so easy for everyone to come to Rotorua or to come to Auckland to train. So yeah, as I'll go back to what I was doing before, with the diploma, we go into the trauma-informed stuff, which is golden thread, memory reconsolidation. This might not be hypnotherapy as such, but it's crucial learning the trauma stuff, the way memories work, because a lot of the time what's underlying issues that people come in with is, of course, a dysregulated nervous system. So it's very, very important to learn, I believe, to be a good hypnotherapist. So I ran you through a 5-week weight loss protocol. It's been going for years. It works with, you can either do gastric band, you can do tummy tightening. There's all different ways of doing weight loss. I've included now working with people that are on the GLP-1, people that have had bariatric surgery, how to kind of adapt it to work with people that come in. With also the diploma, we have a module on the Hypno Change Coach. So this was developed quite a few years ago, maybe 2020. The Hypno Change is trademarked, so students are able to use this title for themselves when doing coaching. Now, Hypno Change coaching is a little bit different to standard coaching, as I teach you how to use the tools that we learn in the hypnotherapy in more of a coaching model, so that you can have longer term clients working on a more kind of broad range of issues, or they're wanting to create a better life instead of just stop smoking, if that makes sense. So as I said, we do teach you business things, and of course working with longer term clients is good for business. One of the other things I get into with the diploma is creating recordings, making passive income, how to create communities and things that's going to help you in your business. We do talk about how to blend in any other complementary therapies you may have, as people that come into hypnotherapy usually have done a wide range of healing modalities. Like me, I'd done massage. I'd done so much before I got into hypnotherapy, and hypnotherapy really was the one thing that I stuck to, just because it's impossible to understand the mind and perception. The deeper you go, the more there is to learn. You might think you've got it, like I said earlier, and then boom, you have this client and some crazy stuff happens, and then it makes you rethink everything again. So working with the mind and perception really does keep you on your toes, and it does keep you fascinated. So that's it. I hope that answers any questions you may have around timing. Like I said, you have up to 2 years to complete the diploma, and it is really self-paced, but with us guiding you in the mentoring and the workshops and the catch-ups, if that makes sense. So if you would like to chat with me, you can book a link. There'll be one on the website where we can have a 30-minute chat, and I can just run through it with you. How to book and how to sign up is on the platform. With signing up, you can sign up anytime. It doesn't have to fit into the first 5 days. And of course, it's also better to sign up a little bit before the 5 days so that you can actually get a feel around the platform, and you can start listening to things so that when you jump on the 5-day training, it's not new to you. It's not like, whoa, this is so much information. It's better to get on and just start kind of working through the platform if you can. So anyway, I hope to meet you if you've gotten to the end of this video, and I will see you soon.